If you're a man who's had enough, tired of always reaching out first, tired of caring more, trying harder, waiting on replies that never come, then this video is your wake-up call. Because everything you've been taught about women is backwards. They told you to chase her, impress her, convince her you're worthy. But what if I told you that's the very reason she's not interested? See, women aren't wired to desire the man who's constantly available, constantly chasing, constantly proving himself. That kind of energy doesn't inspire attraction, it kills it. You might get a few smiles, maybe even a date or two, but real respect, real emotional pull, that only comes when you stop chasing and start attracting. Women are drawn to men who move differently, men who have options, men who aren't thirsty for approval or validation, the ones who don't orbit around her mood or wait around hoping to be chosen. The brutal truth: the moment you start chasing, you step out of your power. But here's the twist: you can flip the entire script. What if, instead of being the one always reaching out, you became the one she couldn't stop thinking about? The man who doesn't chase, but gets chased. Not because of games, not because of manipulation, but because you've built something stronger than tactics, a mindset, a presence, and a standard. That's what this video is about. Becoming the man who doesn't seek validation because he already owns his value. And that energy, that's magnetic. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you won't just understand why women chase certain men, you'll know how to become one of them. It all starts with a shift, one rooted in ancient wisdom. In Stoicism, a philosophy that turns boys into men and followers into leaders. So before we get into the 10 secrets that change the game, let's talk about the mindset shift that changes you. We live in a time where most men are being fed garbage advice about dating. Non-stop. They tell you to be the nice guy, to constantly flatter her, to spoil her with gifts, to send those daily good morning and good night texts like clockwork. But here's the hard truth: none of that works. And why? Because women aren't wired to crave comfort and convenience. They crave curiosity, mystery, strength. They don't fall for the man who worships them. They fall for the man they can't quite figure out. Here's what most men don't understand. Women are biologically drawn to men who move with power, men who lead themselves, men who are emotionally grounded, focused, and unapologetically in control of their own lives. But when you're chasing her, when your world revolves around her attention, you're sending one loud message: I have nothing else going for me. And that's a massive turnoff. Women want to feel like they're being invited into a life that's already full, not like they're becoming the center of one that's empty. So, if you've been bending over backward, trying to impress her, hoping she'll finally notice you, it's time to stop. Because I'm about to show you a better way, a smarter way, not some fake alpha act, not a bunch of manipulative games. I'm going to give you real, grounded advice, steps you can start taking today that will help you flip the dynamic completely. This is about becoming a man who doesn't chase, because he doesn't need to. A man with purpose, with direction, with presence. And once you become that man, women notice. They chase. They pursue. So let's break it all down. 10 powerful shifts to make her lean in and you stop chasing for good. If this message hits something in you, support the channel, like and subscribe. Not for me, but for the next man sitting in this same stillness, questioning everything, hoping it still meant something. Let's begin. Secret number 1, emotional mastery. This is where it begins. The first and most underrated secret: master your emotions. Sounds simple, right? But this is where most men lose the game before it even starts. We're living in an era where emotional outbursts are common, where reacting instantly is seen as being real. But here's the reality. If she doesn't text you back right away and you start spiraling, replaying every interaction, second-guessing yourself, drowning in anxiety, You're not leading your emotions. You're being led by them. And nothing repels a woman faster than a man who can't hold his frame. And why? Because when you lose emotional control, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability doesn't feel exciting. It feels unsafe. And every woman, deep down, craves one thing from a man: emotional safety. She wants to know that no matter what happens, how tense things get, or how long she takes to respond, you'll remain steady, centered, and grounded. That doesn't mean becoming cold or shutting down. It means knowing how to respond instead of reacting. When you can stay calm under pressure, when you move through frustration, jealousy, or disappointment without letting them hijack your actions, that's power. That's real self-command. So the next time you feel triggered, whether it's anger, anxiety, or that sinking feeling in your chest, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, will this still matter next week? 9 times out of 10, it won't. Train yourself to slow down, to breathe through discomfort, to choose your response with intention. Because here's the truth: a man who stays calm becomes magnetic. He becomes the kind of man people trust, the kind of man women chase. Because in a world full of noise and drama, calm is rare, and rare is attractive. So, if you want to command respect and spark a deep, lasting attraction, it starts with self-control. Let her feel your stillness, not your storms. Secret number 2, stand on your principles. Never trade your values for approval, especially hers. Here's the cold truth: the moment you start shifting who you are just to keep her interested, the respect dies. And once the respect fades, the attraction follows. Women are wired to admire men who live by a code, men who don't fold at the first sign of pressure. It's not about being inflexible or difficult. It's about knowing who you are and refusing to let go of it for anyone. Too many men abandon themselves in the name of love. They skip workouts to be more available, delay their goals to avoid conflict, put their own priorities on the back burner, thinking it'll make her stay. But here's the hard reality: a man without a mission loses his edge. And women don't chase men who've lost their edge. They chase men on fire for something bigger. Because when you give up what makes you you, you become replaceable. What women truly want is a man who's grounded, who knows what he wants, where he's going, and won't sell his soul just to keep someone happy. So here's what you do. Get clear on your core values. Write down your top 5, your non-negotiables. Whether it's your ambition, your health, your faith, your discipline, or your self-respect, let them guide how you show up. When she sees that you live by something real, that your life isn't just about her, but about purpose, she'll respect you. And respect is what fuels lasting attraction. Women don't want to be your whole world. They want to fit into the powerful world you've already built. So stop reshaping yourself to meet her expectations. Live your truth. Stand tall in what matters to you. Because when you're unshakable in who you are, she won't just notice. She'll chase. Not because you asked her to, but because you've become a man she can't ignore. Secret number 3, quit begging for approval. This is the trap most men walk right into, seeking her validation. And it's easy to fall for. You want to know she's interested. You want her to double tap your post, reply fast, drop a cute emoji that keeps your heart racing. But here's the truth that stings. The more you try to get her attention, the more invisible you become. Women don't chase men who chase them. They feel the energy, that quiet desperation, that hunger for approval. And nothing kills attraction faster. When you rely on her response to feel worthy, you're no longer showing up with confidence. You're showing up with neediness. And neediness is the opposite of power. The moment you're refreshing your texts, checking if she saw your story, or hoping she compliments your outfit, you're not being a man. You're being a mirror, waiting for her to reflect something back. And that's when she starts pulling away. Because here's the real shift. Your value doesn't come from her attention. It comes from within. When your self-worth is tied to how she responds, you're giving her control over how you feel. And no woman wants to be responsible for your sense of identity. She doesn't want to complete your world. She wants to be invited into one that's already full. If you're always chasing her validation, what you're really saying is, I don't see my own worth unless you confirm it. That's not attractive. That's exhausting. Think of the guys women gravitate toward. They're not checking their phones every 5 minutes. They're not posting for likes. They're too busy living. So when you feel that urge to seek approval, pause. Turn inward. Ask yourself, what makes me proud of me? What have I built? What am I building? When you start validating yourself through your actions, your discipline, your growth, everything changes. That energy becomes magnetic. She'll feel the shift. She'll notice. Because suddenly, you're not chasing her anymore. You're just being you, unapologetically. And that is the version of you she can't help but chase. Secret number 4, believe in your abilities. This one's simple, but it shifts everything. Trust in your abilities. Far too many men move through life quietly doubting themselves. They question their worth, second-guess their choices, and that self-doubt leaks into every conversation, especially with women. And here's the truth. If you don't believe in yourself, she won't either. Confidence is magnetic. It spreads. When you walk into a room with a calm certainty, like you belong there, people feel it. Women feel it. But don't confuse confidence with arrogance. It's not about bragging. It's about knowing deep down that you bring value whether or not the world sees it yet. Whether you're leading a company or still chasing your dream, it's not about titles. It's about presence. A man who knows he matters, no matter where he is on the journey. Women aren't drawn to confusion. They're pulled towards certainty. They want a man who doesn't fold when things go wrong. A man who moves with quiet strength, even in chaos. And when you don't trust yourself, it shows in your posture, in your tone, in the way you hesitate or over-explain. But when you do trust yourself, that energy shifts the room. You speak slower, stand taller. You're not desperate for her interest. You're evaluating if she even deserves yours. That's the shift. That's the flip. It's no longer about proving yourself to her. It becomes about protecting your time, your energy, your peace. Start there. Start stacking wins. Every time you show up for yourself, take note of it. Whether it's crushing a workout, handling your responsibilities, or doing the hard thing when no one's watching. Count it. That's how confidence grows. Not by faking it, but by building it brick by brick. And when you carry that energy, women feel it. They know they're not meeting a man who needs approval. They're meeting a man who already knows his worth. And that's the kind of man they chase. Secret number 5, own your decisions. Let's not sugarcoat it. Indecision is silent rejection. Every time you say, I don't care, whatever you want, you think you're being easygoing. But to her, it's a red flag, a signal that you're unsure, hesitant, and unwilling to lead. And nothing dims attraction faster than that. Women aren't looking for perfect men. They're looking for men who can decide. Men who can say, let's do this, without overthinking it to death. Why? Because decisiveness signals something deeper: strength, direction, safety, and yes, that silent power that says, I can handle life. It's not about making the right choice every time. It's about making a choice, period. Even if you pick the wrong restaurant, the wrong movie, the wrong road trip destination, what matters is that you chose, that you took the lead and owned it. And whether she agrees or not, she'll respect you for that. Here's what most men miss. She doesn't want to carry the weight of every decision. That's exhausting. That's not her role. When you hesitate, when you constantly defer to her, you're unknowingly forcing her into your position. And she resents it, even if she doesn't say it out loud. So next time she asks, "What do you want to eat?" or "Where should we go?" don't fumble the moment. Pick something. Speak with intention. Even as simple, "Let's try that new Thai place tonight," carries weight. It says, "I'm here. I got this." Because leadership isn't loud. It's not controlling. It's not about barking orders. It's about being grounded enough to choose and steady enough to own the outcome, even if it doesn't go perfectly. A passive man makes her feel alone, but a man who leads, even imperfectly, makes her feel something far more powerful, secure. And security? That's the bedrock of attraction. So stop waiting. Stop overthinking. Start deciding. With confidence. With calm. With presence. Because the truth is simple. She won't follow a man who doesn't move. But she will follow a man who leads like he knows where he's going, even if the map isn't perfect. And that's the kind of man she won't forget. Secret number 6, ask for help. This might sound strange at first, but it's one of the most underrated ways to spark connection. Ask her for a favor, a small one, not because you need something, but because it opens the door to something deeper. It's called the Benjamin Franklin effect, and it's simple. When someone does a favor for you, they feel more connected to you. Why? Because they've invested in you, even in a tiny way. And once someone invests, they become emotionally involved without even realizing it. You're not manipulating. You're inviting her in. You're creating a dynamic where she gets to contribute. And when she contributes, when her voice, her taste, or her opinion matters, she feels more seen, more valued, more a part of your world. But here's the catch. It has to be effortless. No big asks, no burdens, no awkward pressure. You're not asking her to help you move, fix your car, or babysit your dog. You're asking for something small, light, personal, something that taps into what she enjoys. If she loves books, ask for a recommendation. If she's into fashion, ask which jacket makes you look sharper. If she's a foodie, ask where she'd eat if she only had one night in town. These aren't chores. They're invitations, and they create tiny moments of connection that stack up over time. Here's the twist most men miss. Asking for help doesn't make you look weak. It makes you look secure. It says, "I trust you." It says, "Your opinion matters." It says, "I'm confident enough to ask without worrying what you'll think." And that kind of quiet confidence, it's magnetic. Too many guys think they have to be completely self-reliant, like asking for anything makes them look desperate. But it's the opposite. Being emotionally open, but grounded, is a sign of strength. So next time you're with her, try it. Ask for something small, a place to eat, a gift idea, a second opinion. Keep it light. Keep it real. Don't overthink it. Because these tiny favors do more than fill a moment. They plant seeds. Seeds of trust. Seeds of connection. Seeds of intimacy. And those seeds grow, not through pressure, but through presence. You're not chasing her. You're letting her lean in. And that makes all the difference. Secret number 7. Go for deep conversations. If you want her to truly connect with you, stop hiding behind small talk. Forget the casual chatter about work, the weather, or what show she's binging. That's not what makes her feel. Women are wired for connection, real connection, and it doesn't come from surface-level conversation. It comes from depth. When you're willing to talk about your dreams, your fears, your wins, and your setbacks, you're showing her something rare, your truth. And when you invite her into that space, you give her permission to do the same. That's how emotional bonds are built. Most guys play it safe. They keep it light. But safety doesn't create fire. If you want her to remember you, crave you, chase you, you need to go deeper. Ask her what lights her up, what scares her, what keeps her going when things fall apart. And when she answers, don't just nod along. Lean in, respond, relate, and share. Let her feel that you're not just interested in her looks, you're interested in her mind, her story, her soul. that kind of presence, that kind of emotional depth, it hits differently. And here's the part most men miss. Being vulnerable doesn't make you weak. When done right, it shows strength. It shows that you're confident enough to be open, honest, and real. And real is magnetic. So next time you're with her, don't be afraid to steer the conversation into something meaningful. It's not about impressing her. It's about inviting her in. Because when a woman feels seen, heard, and understood, she won't want to walk away. She'll want to stay. She'll want more. And that's when she starts chasing you. Secret number 8. Effective communication is everything. Communication makes or breaks everything. And sadly, most men still get it wrong. They either say too little, avoiding honesty, or too much, trying to impress or dominate the moment. Neither works. Both push her away. What women respond to isn't volume or flash, it's clarity. They're drawn to men who speak with confidence, not ego. Men who are clear, grounded, and real with their words. It's not about talking more. It's about saying what you mean, meaning what you say, and standing on it. If you can't express your thoughts, your feelings, or your intentions with maturity, your connection won't last. Because here's the truth. Women don't want to play a mind reader. They're not drawn to cryptic hints, vague answers, or passive one-word replies. And they definitely don't want emotional speeches meant to manipulate a reaction. What they respect is honesty. Calm, confident honesty. If something matters to you, speak on it. If you feel something, own it. Be direct, but not cold. Open, but not needy. Communicate like a man who isn't afraid to show up fully. That means having the hard conversations too. Not dodging conflict. Not burying discomfort. She doesn't need you to be perfect. She needs to know you're willing to face things head on. That's where trust is built. That's where attraction deepens. And remember, it's not just what you say. It's how you say it. Listen when she speaks. Really listen. Be present. Respond with intent, not just waiting for your turn to talk. That level of communication, it tells her you're emotionally steady, that you're grounded, that you're safe to open up to. And when a woman feels heard, seen, and understood, she won't want to walk away. She'll lean in, she'll invest, she'll chase. Secret number 9, be a mysterious man. This is where most men blow it. They reveal too much, too soon. And while that might feel honest or open, it actually kills the spark. See, women are naturally curious. They want to discover you, not be handed everything up front like a resume. The mystery? That's what keeps her leaning in. When you unload your entire life story in the first few conversations, you rob her of the most powerful emotional driver in attraction, curiosity. And once that curiosity dies, so does the chase. What most guys get wrong is thinking vulnerability means spilling everything all at once. But real connection isn't a flood, it's a slow reveal. Women love layers. They love the feeling of peeling them back one at a time. So instead of trying to impress her with every detail about your past, your goals, your fears, pace yourself. Not because you're hiding anything, but because you're in no rush to be figured out. That calm, quiet confidence, it's magnetic. Let her wonder a little. Let her ask questions. Give her a glimpse, then change the subject. Share enough to be real, but not enough to be predictable. This doesn't mean playing games or being secretive. It means knowing your worth well enough to let her earn the deeper parts of you. Because when you leave space for her imagination, she'll fill it with intrigue. And that intrigue will keep her coming back. Mystery isn't about manipulation. It's about maintaining depth. Depth she has to explore little by little. And the more she leans in to figure you out, the stronger her investment grows. So stop over-explaining. Stop putting it all on the table right away. Let her experience the thrill of discovery. Because the man who leaves her wondering is the man she'll chase. Secret number 10. Patience separates boys from men. This final secret carries more weight than all the rest. Patience isn't weakness, it's power. In a world addicted to speed, we're trained to want everything now. Instant replies, quick results, immediate emotional highs. But real connection, real attraction, that takes time. If you're always texting back in seconds, pushing for labels too early, or trying to rush her feelings, you're not drawing her in. You're crowding her. And the more you push, the more she pulls away. Women are naturally drawn to men who move with patience. Why? Because it screams confidence. It tells her you're not chasing. You're not desperate. You trust the flow. A man who's patient doesn't need to force chemistry or fast-track emotions. He knows that anything real, anything worth having, unfolds at its own pace. And that kind of restraint, that calm, grounded presence, it's magnetic. Here's the truth. Pressure makes her retreat. She doesn't want to feel cornered into texting back, seeing you more, or defining the relationship on your timeline. She wants to feel something naturally, gradually. And to do that, she needs space. Space to wonder about you. Space to miss you. Space to let her emotions grow without being told where they're supposed to go. That's what patience does. It gives her room to lean in, to chase you. Because once she realizes you're not in a rush, not trying to control the outcome, she'll see something rare, a man who's worth the wait. So the next time you feel like speeding things up, pause. Take a breath before you double text. Let a day pass before the next date. Let her reach out. Let her wonder. Patience isn't about playing games. It's about emotional maturity. It tells her you're secure enough to let things build. That you're not just in it for the quick win, but for something solid. A patient man doesn't chase, he attracts. And when she feels that, she won't run. She'll come closer. And here's the part most men overlook. Women respect patience. They respect the man who doesn't rush, who isn't trying to force a title or a timeline. They feel something different around the guy who moves with calm certainty instead of needy urgency. Because patience isn't passive, it's power. It's that quiet strength that says, I'm good either way. That energy, it's magnetic. When you stop forcing things and let them unfold naturally, you give space for real attraction to grow. You create something deeper, something lasting. Women feel safe with men who don't rush, who wait with purpose, who move with grace instead of impulse. These 10 secrets, they're not pickup lines or temporary tricks. They're a way of life. This is about becoming the kind of man who doesn't chase, but is chased. Because when you master your emotions, live your truth, stop begging for validation, and start trusting your own power, you won't just shift your dating life. You'll transform everything. Women are drawn to purpose, to stability, to presence. When you embody those qualities, you don't have to beg for attention. You command it. And not just from women. People around you will feel it too. You'll walk into a room and something about you will speak louder than words. The way you move, the way you carry yourself. You'll no longer be overlooked. You'll be respected, remembered, and sought after. But don't get it twisted. This isn't easy. This takes work. It takes patience. It takes daily discipline and a commitment to real growth. If you're looking for quick hacks, this isn't for you. But if you're serious about becoming the kind of man who leads, who earns respect without saying a word, who makes women want to chase him, then this is your blueprint. These aren't trends. These are timeless principles, grounded in Stoic philosophy, modeled by high-value men across centuries. And now, they're in your hands. Use them well. This is your moment to shift the trajectory of your life for good. Are you ready to stop watching from the sidelines and finally take control? If you're done being overlooked, done chasing attention, done feeling like the world keeps passing you by, then this is your wake-up call. Hit that subscribe button right now and to join a brotherhood of men who are rising mentally, emotionally, and purposefully. Don't just think about it. Move, because every moment you wait is another moment you're giving away your power. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell too, so you never miss a video that could flip your mindset, sharpen your edge, and unlock the version of you you've been holding back. We're building something here, something real. But it only works if you show up and commit to the journey. You played it safe long enough. Now it's time to step up, level up, and lead. When you start living by these Stoic principles, when you stop chasing and start standing firm in who you are, the game changes. And suddenly, the world starts chasing you. Let's get to work. Thanks for watching.